Hey guys, what's up? Reese here. I've got a new shoe video for you today. Instead of a review or anything like that, what I'm going to talk about is how to avoid buying fake sneakers online. And this is a method that I've kind of honed over the past couple years. It's probably not foolproof. It's not going to guarantee anything, but I've found that it works really well. In my experience, I have yet to actually purchase any fakes, which is a huge plus for me. I'm very careful. And I've kind of, I've watched other people's videos, and I've kind of taken pieces from there. I've looked online and just kind of gotten some ideas of what I'm looking for, and I've kind of pieced together my own strategy for how to find legitimate shoes. And it's really tough, honestly. Today there are so many hyped up releases, whether it's Jordan, Nike, Adidas. I mean, generally the worst fakes you see are generally the Nike or Jordan, especially. But I mean, there are fakes of all kinds of shoes just because there's so much hype for all these releases that a lot of people just want to get them. They don't really think about what they're doing, and they might buy something from a sketchy website because they see a good price or they see it in their size or whatever. So I'm going to do this is a three-part video series. This part right here, we're going to talk about looking at the actual website itself, and then we'll talk about in the next video doing your research on the website, or that'll also cover if you're looking at an eBay seller. And then the third video will talk about the shoes themselves and what to look for. And so again, this is just my strategy. This is what's worked for me. And so if you have any other ideas or anything that you do, please feel free to comment. But I have had a lot of luck with this. The first thing to do, and this is the fairly obvious thing, is if you find the shoes you want to buy in your size, check the website if you've never purchased from them before, if you don't know that they're legitimate. And what I mean by that is you've got to look over what they're selling and just some company information to make sure that they are actually a legitimate seller, because there are a lot of websites that are, not legitimate. In my experience, I find for every legitimate website out there, there are 10 to 20 at least fake websites. And that's just what I found. And it's a shame, but you need to be prepared and you need to be ready for it. And so when you're looking at the website, the first thing to do is just look over the pairs they're offering. And what you want to look for, it helps to have a little sneaker knowledge, is look for a pair that maybe looks weird. And it could be, like, I have a friend who purchased fake shoes, and I told him they were fake before he bought them, but he still bought them anyway. And the website he bought them from, on one of their main shoes that they were selling on their homepage, was the Jordan 3.5 Take Flight, which the upper was a mix of the Jordan 3 and the Jordan 4, which is 3.5 is in the middle. And then it had the airbag and outsole of the Jordan Take Flight, which was a 360 Air Max basketball shoe a couple years ago. And Jordan never made that hybrid fusion pair. And that was the first dead giveaway. I was like, that is wrong. And they had all these god-awful colorways of the shoe. It looked terrible. And then I did a little more digging in this website, and not only did they have these just completely fake pairs that Jordan never made, they also had a lot of fake colorways. You'd look at, I remember one that really stood out to me was the Jordan 13. They had all these goofy patterned uppers and all this crazy stuff, and you look at that, and even if you don't know anything about shoes, you can look at that and say, that does not look right, because it just looked horrendous. And that's the first big tip-off to look for. So like I said, this one, it helps to know your shoes a little bit. But look for a pair that they never made. Look for colors that look wrong. And if you don't know much about shoes, but you see, that looks really weird, try to check it out, find the name and the colors and just Google it and see what pops up. And if you don't see it, you can be like, okay, there's a problem. Or if it's only a bunch of all these sketchy websites, Another thing to look for on the shoes themselves is look at the prices. Because if all of the prices are extremely low, you see a lot of $70, $80, and a lot of weird numbers. Like one website I was looking at earlier today, before I made this video, was like every shoe was $81.99, which is just a really weird price. And as much as I'd love to go out and buy a pair of Jordan Retros that released last year for half of retail price, that's not going to happen. It's kind of one of those things, if it looks too good to be true, it is, when it comes to shoes, unfortunately. And so if you're seeing all of these just weirdly low prices, that is a dead giveaway that they are fake. And, you know, I understand that, you know, maybe there's like one pair that they only have size 7.5 left in, or one pair that just didn't sell well that may be on sale. But when you see a bunch of shoes like that are at a really low price, that's a dead giveaway. Another thing to look at, and this is really good to look at in conjunction with the price, is see what sizes they have. If they've got all these Jordan retros that released 2 years ago, and, you know, Nike, a rare coveted pair of Nikes that sold out really quickly, and they have them in, you know, a full size runner very close. You know, if there's 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, 12, and 13, or anything close to that, you know, for a lot of different pairs, that's a big turnoff right there. You know, I understand maybe if a shoe just released today and it's a site that not a ton of people know about, yeah, they might have a full-size runner close to. But when we're talking, you know, old Jordan retros, a full-size run is very uncommon, unless, you know, maybe it's there are certain cases, you know, some legitimate sites that maybe, you know, are selling them for a high premium price. But when you're seeing, you know, like the $81.99 shoes, you know, I could get, oh, the Jordan Retro 4 white cement that released a year ago for $80. Oh, they have every size. That's cool. No, it's not. So that's one thing to look for. And then even if you don't know anything about shoes, a great thing to check is go to the homepage and then scroll down to the bottom. Generally, there will be links down there. You know, there'll be about us, contact us, FAQs, shipping and return policy. Read through all of these. You know, I've been to a lot of fake websites that just you'll click on the links and nothing will be there. That's a problem. I went to one that my friend purchased some shoes from that were completely fake, and it was a terrible website. And I went to About Us, and technically it was written in English, but it was just a bunch of random English words in a paragraph. It made no grammatical sense, and I was like, ew. And another thing to check for is if they have a contact information, which they should. If they don't, that's another big turnoff if there's no way to contact them. Yeah, come on. But if there is contact information, look for a phone number, look for an email. And a phone number is really nice because you should definitely try to call that. And, you know, because a lot of times a fake company will either not answer, or you'll get someone foreign. And so, you know, if they're based out of Los Angeles, supposedly, and you pick up the phone and it's someone speaking a foreign language, that's a dead turnoff. So, I mean, basically when you're looking at the website, this is the most obvious place to check first. We'll do a recap here. You first look at the shoes that they're selling and make sure you don't see anything that stands out as either a pair that was never made or a colorway that just seems wrong or was never made. Check prices. If they're too good to be true, they probably are. Check size runs. If they've got a bunch of full-size runs on rare or interesting pairs, that's a problem. And check the company information. Make sure that they say something and that it sounds reasonable. And this is all the first step. If you watch, I'll post part 2 coming up here, and then that's going to talk about how to do some outside research on a website once you verified from looking at the website itself that, okay, yeah, this looks plausible. So, hope you see the next part, and good luck finding your kicks. I almost forgot to say, I told you, you know, watch out for the price, and if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. It's also important to note that while it's rarer to find this, there are fake websites that will hike up the price, you know, maybe $300, you know, whatever dollars or something. It's really high just to make you say, oh, they're charging a lot, they've got to be legitimate. No. Do not look at the price only. That's just something else to check if things are already seeming sketchy. And those low prices are really easy to tell. When it gets to the higher prices, you've got to look at a lot of other things, and that's what I'll talk about in the next video. So just FY your information.